Hey everyone, thanks for joining me as I create the first couple pages of this little mini art journal. You know, the one that I'm doing in my little phone book cover. Everything's going to fit in here. So we created the signatures, and now I'm going to get started with some of the pages on the inside. Now I've already I've printed all the goodies that I want in it. This is all about my heritage, so I'm going to work on the first page. I've kind of pre-cut all the pages that I want inside, and I thought maybe you'd, want to join me in just seeing how I create this so that you can, do one of your own in your own heritage. So this is going to be the first page, and I've got my mom and dad who are Acadian, French-Acadian on the front. This is when they were married. I believe it was 1968 they got married. I might have to confirm that. But this is all just a representation of our heritage. So I've got here, what I'm going to do on the front cover is, so I've got the traditional Acadian flag that I'm going to put. And as you can see, it's very similar to the French flag, the same colors, but we have that additional yellow star. Now, French-Acadian did, lost for words. We came from France, so there's a big representation there, but the yellow star is a representation of Mary, the Mother Mary, and it is on the blue banner because the blue is supposed to represent Mary, and the star is in yellow to represent the color of the Pope. Very big on Catholicism in the Acadian culture. So, that's the symbol of the papacy, however you say that word. I could never say it properly. And then this is another flag used to represent the Acadian culture as well. And it's kind of in the vintage tones here. It's a vintage flag, but it has the same colors, the white, the red, and the blue, and then it's got the fleur-de-lis and the castle. So it's just another way, and then of course you've got the Star of Mary representing Mary. So it's just kind of like a more modern take that they've been using, and I believe the Cajun use this one as well, because Cajun and Acadian, it's the same heritage. Acadians have they migrated from the Louisiana area up to the northeastern part of Canada and parts of Maine. So, but it's all the same. So anyways, I'm going to put that on the front, but I thought what I do is, and I also have the Acadian emblem here that I'm going to put on there. So I'm going to glue, before I glue the Acadian one down, I want to just distress it a teeny bit. I'll probably distress, well, no, I won't distress that flag, but I just want to distress the edges here. I've got some vintage photo ink. And before I get my stuff glued down, I'm just going to do a little bit of stamping on this page just to add a little more interest. So I've got my, my classic little French words that I keep using in these. And I'm just going to kind of do some random words going across the page. Just like how I like to do it, nice and light. And of of course, there's going to be some stuff covering it, so I want to make sure I get just the right amount. Okay. Let's see, that'll go there, that'll go there. And get one right in the middle. All right. I think that's good. Okay, that adds as a nice base, and then it doesn't look too plain. So I'm going to get that down. This is going to cover over top. So let's do a little bit of a different font on this, and I'm just going to kind of do it so it looks like magazine-y. There, that helps. And then we've got the emblem. Okay. So this will kind of give you some ideas of how you do yours too. Because we're not all going to be Acadian, but you can do this with any of your cultural backgrounds, heritage, religious, whatever you want to work into your art journal. But this is going to be the first page that you'll see. So I'll get the Acadian emblem down. And then I think I'm going to do this one first. I'm only putting glue on here because this is going to be a little flip up. And then I want the more kind of modern take underneath, so you can, you know, my daughter will be able to see the different ways that the flag is represented. And you know how kids always like little flip-ups and tucks and that kind of thing. And then this one will just be glued underneath. I'm not even using my scrap piece of paper. All right. So get this one tucked right in there. Make sure it's covered. And there's my first page. So when she opens the book, she'll see the Acadian emblem. And Acadian is spelled backwards, not intentionally, but when I printed it, I must have flipped it. But it's okay. We'll make sure it's spelled correctly somewhere else. And then we've got the traditional flag and the more kind of modern take. And so what I'm going to end up doing is probably put little notes in here for her, just, you know, giving her the representation of the flag. I'm not going to do that now, but I've got a little bit of work ahead of me. And then when I go to the second page, I think what I'm going to do, because my plan is that, so my mother's from New Brunswick, my father is from Maine, and I have a little vintage flag or map, or this is the cover of a map. This is more of an inside of a map of each. So what I want to do is paste them in there so that I can, you know, put the dates that they were born and when they were born, and then I could put some little iconic things there, and I've got some fun little facts. Now this page, I'm not too sure what I'm going to put here yet because I need like a neutral ground. So I'm just going to skip this first page, and we do have a little pocket there, so I'm just going to skip it and I'll figure something out after. But I do need like 2 sides for this one. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue them right down into the book. So this is my mother, New Brunswick. Hey. Excess amount of glue. I'm going to leave a little bit of room at the top so I can write some information. Okay, and then Let me see, I might do the main at the top so I can give a little information here and have writing alternating. Might look a little bit better, aesthetically pleasing. Okay. So I've got all kinds of fun little facts of information that I'm going to put in this book, including, you know, historical buildings from the dates that my parents were born. And then I've got some of the fashion trends. That's, of course, one of my funnest ones. I can't wait to do that, showing the fashion trends for the years that my parents were born. And then some of the pop culture, so you can see what products, toys, foods, all the kind of cool inventions that were trending at the time. So I want room to put dates, and I've got, what I'm going to do is use masking tape, because my tape is a little, or my paper is a little pearly, and it's not the best to write on, especially when you're using gel. So I'm using masking tape. It is the same color as my paper. But, you know, like, to me, masking tape is kind of vintagey. That's what I recall my parents using growing up. It's just one of those, like, staples. We didn't have washi tape or anything like that. It was just either masking tape or Scotch tape. I don't even know when Scotch tape came out. I remember my dad wrapping our Christmas gifts in newspaper and masking tape. That's what I remember growing up in the 70s. Okay, so I've got some fancy little gel pens here that I can't find. Huh. I've got sparkly ones, but I don't want to use them. Okay, I'll just use my little paper mate. All right, so I'm going to put my mother's name. But these are great for writing. Born September 26, 1940. I'm going to put a little tag here. Let's see, just kind of at the bottom, and write Nana, because that's what my kids call her. New Brunswick, where she was born. And then this one will be Papa. So the masking tape is really nice to write on, and it's good for these little notes. So born So the funny thing is, both my parents were born on the 26th day, and my brother and I were both born on the 23rd. Different months and different years, of course, but so my father was born in the States. My mother, she was born in Canada. Just gonna put another little tag here saying Canada. And how cute is that? It's as simple as that when you're making a journal. Just, you know, pasting memorabilia, or, you know, going on the internet and doing some research on your heritage, getting some information, and just, you know, tagging it and documenting it. So the next page that I'm going to do is I've got 2 photos. I thought, oh, okay, this will be fun. So my mom was a nurse and my father was an educator. So the year he was born in 1938, I went and pulled a picture of the school that was standing in Madawaska, Maine. This was their community school in 1938. So I'll have to ask my father if this is where he went to school. It was just one little building. I remember him telling us stories, how every grade was in the same room. It was very small. He grew up in a small community. So I found a picture of the school the year he was born. I'm going to paste that in on one side. And I really did kind of an accordion fold so that you can pop out. I didn't have to like shrink it down to size. And this is a nice way of getting, you know, your images in there without having to scroll them down to size. So my mom was a nurse and I did some research, and in 1940, the year she was born, there were no hospitals in Edmundston. The closest one was in Moncton. So it wasn't until the later years where they put a hospital in Edmundston. But one of the heritage buildings that's still standing in Edmundston, where she was born, was Bureau du Poste, which is the post office, in 1940 in Edmundston, New Brunswick. So I'm going to put that on her side to represent. And I'm just going to go ahead and paste those in. And then once they're pasted in, I'll show you how they fold out. And I'm going to add a little embellishment to this one too, because I have old little postage stamps that I printed off. And then Madawaska, I'm going to put this one a little bit lower so I've got room to write when I've got the information. And these are questions that I'll ask my parents too, just to confirm. Okay. So when you look at this page, the way that I've done it is I just did a little accordion fold, but I didn't have it go, originally I had it going over this way, but I really didn't want to go and just start writing on the back of this so that it would show. I just wanted the images to be showing when you open the page, and it just so happened, it's so cute how this ended up just being a little tree, and then when you open it up, it's like a little pop-out book, and you get the whole picture of the school. And I still have, you know, writing here. I can make some notes. And then with the post office, the same thing. I've already made a couple notes here. And what I would like to do, because I have these little kind of postage stamps, is I am going to cut one out here. And I'm going to, let's see, I think I'll put it on this side. Just because it's got that spot, it doesn't matter. I'll still have room to write on the back of them. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it right onto the paper. But then what I want to do is just get, like pump it up a bit. So I've got this round stamp, You see me using it a lot. I kind of use it to mimic, but I just want to kind of mimic it as if it's been posted and stamped. So I'm just going to do a little circle, and then I'm going to get one of my other little stamps to get a little bit of type on there so it looks like it's been postmarked. And that's a nice way of adding a little touch, makes it look a little authentic, but really it's just clip art, and I've amped it up a little bit. So, and I've got plenty of room here. I could put notes talking about the historical building, which is what I'm going to do. And those are my first couple pages. We skipped that page. And then it went to the provinces that they grew up in, and we've got some historical images in there. So there's a couple little ways that you can start doing your little heritage journal. And in the next, next couple of videos, you'll see how I just building it up with all kinds of yummy information. So thanks for joining me again today, guys, and we'll see you next time on my little heritage journal. All right, talk to you soon, guys.